We've got a 6-speed manual Sahara JL Wrangler in our studios today. We're going to do a full on-road driving review, so stay tuned. So today we're actually fortunate enough to get our hands on a 2019 JL Sahara 4-door equipped with a 6-speed manual. Now this really isn't common with the Jeep Wranglers in this modern industry to have a manual transmission, and our customer actually had to special order it. So it's got all the amenities of a Sahara inside and outside. It looks really gorgeous, but they've got that classic 6-speed inside. So I want to hop in there and give you guys my first impressions of how that 6-speed manual handles on the highway. This is just going to be an on-road driving review. I've got a 6-speed JK, so I was curious to see how it feels. It's got some modern changes. It's actually got a reverse lockout right underneath to make sure you don't go into first when you're trying to go in reverse, so it's pretty cool. Plus the reverse camera really helps, but honestly, I want to feel how that clutch is. I want to feel how the gear throws are. It felt a little bit shorter as I hopped in and pulled it in the studio, so I'll give you guys my feedback, but let's hop in and get started. Okay guys, we just hopped in the JL. About to take it down some back roads here, get on the highway a little bit and see how it feels. Overall, first impression of the clutch, it's like nothing I've ever driven in a Jeep before. I can tell you that right now. If you guys have had older TJs, older YJs, JKs even, you know that when you push that clutch down, you don't even have to hit leg day at the gym because you're getting it in your calves. And with this, it's like I can in and out, like super simple. It's really quick. If I can say one thing, I almost wish it was a little bit firmer. Like it feels like a smaller car, like if I'm driving like a Volkswagen or something, just with an easy clutch. Second thing I have to say is that even from first to third, the shift pattern is much more tight than the JK was. It is like a very tight pattern. Almost feels like it already has a short shifter installed. And B&M actually sells a short shifter for this JL on top of this, so I can't even imagine how tight those gears are. But it feels good. You know, the shifter feels really nice. All the gears are planted where they are. But yeah, clutch is really easy to use. I mean, you push it in and it just doesn't even make any effort to fight back at you. All right, so let's pull off into the highway a little bit, see if we can't get on it. It's making some power, I gotta be honest. I'm in 5th gear, going about 65 miles an hour at 2,000 RPM. Let's drop it into 6th. 1,600 RPM going 65 in 6th gear. That's a stock 321 gear ratio, 3.6 liter with a manual 6-speed. So I'll take that. That's pretty good. It says I'm averaging, just on that quick average gas mileage, I'm averaging about 19 miles a gallon right now. And that's going to be a big benefit of having this manual, is you're going to be able to get some better gas mileage, as well as control your RPMs on the trail a lot easier than you can with that automatic. One thing I did see, I don't know if you caught it, Ryan, when we were shifting, it almost felt like it rev matched. Like my RPMs didn't drop really low. It kind of matched where I was going. So let me drop it back into 4th right here. And I'll get it up to some higher RPMs and shift it and see if those RPMs stay where I just was. Because if it does, if it rev matches, that's pretty cool. It didn't on that one. It seemed like it did when you had some higher RPMs. It almost seemed like it matched up with your RPM when you shifted into the next gear. But overall, it's very, very smooth. Everything in here has been engineered to work really well with the Jeep JL and just work. I mean, I love the way the clutch feels, actually. Now that you drive it a little bit, I tell you this, hopping in and out of this from my JK, the clutch is way, 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 way easier to push. Like, night and day difference.
Would you say the heating works in there?
Yeah, I turned it up to high because it's 34 degrees out and it's flurrying here in Pennsylvania. It's hot. Oh my gosh. Let me turn off my my seat heaters, because in the JL Sahara, you can get that as an option. What if it'll do the auto stop start? How does that work? Let's see. Will it stop? Or do I have to be in neutral? Do I have to be off the clutch? There it did. I wonder if when I push the clutch in, will it start, or do you think it was when I start the gas?
I think it'll start when you put the clutch in.
Let's try. All right, I'm gonna try and put the clutch in. No. So the auto stop start functions with the clutch in the manual. So it gives you kind of like that, like a little bit, like maybe a second before you push that gas, depending on how quick you push the clutch. But it'll only work if you have it in neutral and the clutch is out. Yeah, you have to have the transmission in neutral and your foot off the clutch, and then it'll do the auto stop start. So, cool tidbit for you guys. I actually wanted to figure that out because I wasn't sure how it worked entirely, but yeah, that's how it works. Highway driving so far has been really great. No issues at all. Feels just like the automatic, you know what I mean? Just cruising down the highway. Just, you got that extra pedal there and get to shift manually, which is pretty cool. If I was going to get a two-door JL Wrangler, I would definitely get a manual with the 3.6 liter. Just simply because I would be wheeling with it. It would be my off-road machine, and that's kind of my perspective on why I would get the manual, just because the 6-speed, I already have it in my JK 2-door. I love it. This 6-speed is a lot more refined than my 6-speed is, so to have that in a 2-door would be really cool. And a 2-door is more or less like, that's my vehicle then. Like, I'm not gonna let Abby drive it, I'm not gonna let my family take it. I would, but they won't be able to just hop in and go. So if I were to get a 4-door, I would definitely get the 8-speed automatic. Now this is really cool because it's kind of a nostalgia thing to have a 6-speed in a Jeep, and a lot of people say if it's not manual, it's not really right. But I've got to tell you guys, having the automatic in the JL Wrangler is really nice in that 4-door. And that's just because it would be more of like a family vehicle at that point, and it's just a hop in and go. I don't have to worry about it. But I've got to tell you, if you're thinking about a manual or an automatic, both of these are great options. I have no complaints about this manual. The only complaint I say is it's too easy to put the clutch in, which a lot of people won't find that as a complaint. That's just a personal thing for me because I'm used to pushing so hard on my JK's clutch. But it's got plenty of power, plenty of oomph in it. I'm really happy with the way that the 6-speed is set up. That reverse lockout is really nice. So yeah, just a lot of decisions to play into the factor, but I'm happy with both of them. The manual is really fun to drive though, so I gotta say, I think if I had a 2-door and I was just gonna build it up for a rock crawler, you know, get that lower 84-to-1 transfer case in there, definitely get that manual. However, if I was gonna get more of a family vehicle, I'd get the 8-speed because it's just, they're so refined, both of them. It's a hard decision for me, but yeah, 8-speed I would get in the 4-door because I'd probably get it with a diesel, and then 2-door I'd probably get the 6-speed, but that's just coming from me. So that's a wrap on my 6-speed manual review of this 2019 JL Sahara. As you guys just saw, we took it out on the road and did some basic driving tests with it. It'll be really cool to see if we can get this thing off-road once it gets up and lifted a little bit. We don't have too many manuals. It's not really a common thing you see with the JL Sahara. Our customer actually had to special order this to get it the way that they wanted it. So pretty cool that we've got one in the studio and we can kind of take it out on the road and I give you my feedback on how it felt. Overall, 6-speed manual is completely updated from the JK. If you have a chance, definitely hop in one of these and take it for a test drive. You won't regret it, especially with that clutch feel and the way that the short shifter is built in from the factory. Now you can find parts for your 6-speed manual JL, as well as many other great videos on how to drive them, some engine comparisons, and everything else for your Jeep Wrangler right here at cjponyparts.com and also on our YouTube page.